El señor alcalde está en una reunión y no puede venir en tiempo.
¿Y el señor de la finanza no está?
Se fue huyendo cuando le hice una pregunta.
Okay, everybody's ready? Okay, everybody. Okay, welcome back to the City of Sweetwater Regular Commission meeting. We're reconvening. It is Thursday, 5:10 p.m. at the Commission Chambers, 500 Southwest 109 Avenue. And we left off at item B, which is the resolution of the mayor and commission of the city of Sweetwater adopting the tentative budget of the city of Sweetwater for fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2016 and ending September 30th, 2017 pursuant to Florida statute section 200.065 trim bill, setting the time and place for public hearing and adopt the final budget for the city of Sweetwater, authorizing the city clerk to advertise public hearing, providing an effective date, trim requirement, and first public hearing. We already had the hearing and we closed it. And at this moment, we just received, before we came in here, the new revenue adjustments. Well, we already had it, but we can go ahead and open it up again. Mr. Jose Mejia, you wanted to speak? Please give your name and address for the record.
No, Mejia.
Mejia.
Yes, my name's Jose Mejia, 10634 Southwest 5th Street. I just wanted to talk really quick about the red light camera program. I see here on the revenue budget adjustments, it says 800,000 and change, more or less, a little under 803,000, of which the city's only going to get 139,000. I find it ridiculous. You yourself said you didn't like, the invasion of the privacy and the whole fact of having the cameras present. A lot of residents have said it, and then the money factor plays a huge role in it. I don't think we need that. That little amount, it's going to create so much animosity that it's not even worth it. That's my opinion. And then second, I see here for the clerks, for the administration here, it says personnel, one part-time position, almost 36,000. That's more than half of the amount of the salary of the personnel, one full-time position in the clerk's office, which is under 50,000. I don't understand, that individual with the part-time makes, I believe that's more money per hour than the individual full-time. Doesn't make sense. That's something that I think is unnecessary.
You can ask the mayor also on all these things.
He's not present, so.
Right, but I can't answer him. These are the adjustments that he made to meet the millage rate that we set. And we just received this 20, 30 minutes ago.
And then also the fact here at the end, it says position adjustment. Where are all the positions and the salaries? The dollar amount. Why aren't they listed? On prior occasions, it's been listed. I mean, that's ridiculous. This is a lack of transparency, or either it's a lack of communication in which it's not, well regarded and well put in, on documents. But residents see this and they notice this, and you guys are elected officials also. I think we should really push that issue. Commissioner Duaso
we just had a lawsuit
continued
about that. I don't know if you've been around about all this.
I have that,
Okay,
but it
well-
has nothing to do with the fact that there's no salaries or dollar amounts here.
We've been asking for
Where's
that for
Ricardo
a year and a
at?
half.
Ricardo was present, and when Commissioner Duaso asked him a question, he proceeded to leave the room. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
And then
That's what we've been dealing with.
he acted like if he got a phone call.
Yes.
I call everyone out when I need to. I'm very, very neutral. Those are my comments. So again, I think we should tread softly with that red light camera. I think we should do away with it. It's not worth it. Thank you.
Yes,
Would you
Commissioner.
like just to make a comment? May I? Okay. I would like to express my gratitude to the Miami-Dade County Commissioner Jose Pepe Diaz for the assistance extended to the city of Sweetwater by providing us with the help of Miami-Dade finance auditors. I want to thank especially Barbarita Galvez, Teresita Figueroa, Elizabeth Godoy, and Maria Angeles Arguelles. Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
We all extend gratitude to the Commissioner Jose Pepe Diaz and his office, to the sheriff, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
We needed it.
And also, Barbarita is a resident of the city of Sweetwater.
For many years, my secretary and maintenance director.
I said, Becky,
Beautiful secretary.
double special because she has the feeling, she knows how it is in the residents. So, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, we just received this, and I think it's pretty much on point of a lot of the things that I wanted to take out and try to reduce. In mind that we have another meeting next week, and we just received this a half hour ago. The only thing that I wanted to add,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am.
Next week, I would like to go line item by line item. I don't care we stay here 3 or 4 hours.
Yes.
You don't mind, or you, the other members of the board?
No,
I'm
that's your
for
job.
it.
That's fine.
I'm
I don't
for
have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with it.
The only thing I'm going to tell you is that, well, what I was going to say right now
Okay.
is that we're getting to the point, because of all this complete situation we've been in, whoever's fault, everybody's fault, we're really getting down to the point where we wanted to bring it down as much as possible. There's not really much more that we can cut without hurting the actual services that we're going to render to the residents. One of the things that was a big point that was done the other day when Commissioner Suarez and I were talking and came up to take off the trash, we just saved the residents $65 a year from some of their taxes, which is pretty good. But we really can't cut much more. There might be a couple of small items, like I have one that's a small item that I wanted to add. But since we just received this, we also have time for the finance department to review it and give us, in the proper form. Like we have the regular budget,
Was the,
and maybe early early next week we can have it.
was the employees and the salary of each employee.
I agree.
We asked for that in a motion that we made, and we haven't received it.
I will.
May I meet the president?
One more. Let her
The
finish.
next meeting too, we have the complete information, who has stayed, who are the salary, the position and everything, the complete information,
Right.
next Thursday. It's plenty time from now to the next Thursday.
Mr. Mendez said he was gonna be here, but he's not
May
here.
I?
One moment. Ralph, if you can maybe help us out, having him come here and he's got it a printout that he can give us. And at this point, there's not much more we can cut, so it's not like we're gonna do anything differently. But it would just be nice to know, because the direction which we wanna go in the city, you might want, everybody might be able to see something. Like you yourself might get the numbers and all the personnel and everything and say, hey, we have 5 welders and I only want 2 because we're not gonna weld anymore. So the mayor himself can cut it, or if everybody has the information, it's a lot easier to work with, and there's not much more to cut, so it'll make everybody happy. And Mr. Mendez gave his word last time he was gonna be here, and he just left. Commissioner,
No, say, Daniel.
No, I was
Second.
going to make just one quick remark. Next Thursday, I also have a cut that is not reflected in here,
okay,
okay? So we can discuss it next meeting on Thursday?
yes, but if it's something significant, I would say either, not necessarily you have to take it out today, but mention it, the finance department can put
Well, I
it in
would-
if it's something that you
Actually,
think.
it's something that I would like to meet with the chief of police Diaz before I just
Right.
make my final decision.
But if it's considerable, then
It's considerable,
important.
yes, it's a considerable amount.
We have a meeting on Monday, Commissioner.
Okay.
Monday we have a meeting?
Yeah, but meeting is for different, something, have
Okay.
nothing, not related to what I'll be talking to you
No problem,
personally.
whenever you like, I'll sit down.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yes, sir.
I may send question to finance director. When they say question, say why? They say no major order and go. I don't know why. Everything very clear in here. And go, you know why? I say major say sentence for never service. All department, all the name, salary, and everything. All department. For many years.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
I believe that, so we are being asking before, all the commissioners, even Mr. Mejia just addressed the issue that is a lack of transparency, not to show all the information in the budget with the positions that are being open, with the position that, or a report that shows how many employees we had on the adopted budget, how many do actually have, and how many we are projected to have according to the mayor's, Mayor Lopez, budget. And I recommend all the commissioners now that they have, I have other issues to speak about it also in the budget, to bring it up as soon as possible to the finance department and the mayor and the chief of staff, so that they can work out on such a way that we don't go too close to the day that the city clerk have to report, so that we give some time to the finance department to bring up or to adjust the budget in all corners, so that we can have, I would say, a more realistic budget by the time they bring it on Thursday.
On Thursday, there's gonna be a meeting, special meeting on Thursday.
Commissioner
But the
Yang
final
was mentioning that
will be
she
on the
has
26th.
other line item that she wants to talk about it. I think that, Commissioner, you should bring it up to agree with the chief of police and the finance director, so that they can work out
That's-
on time and
exactly,
bring it
that's what-
Thursday, so we can.
Tomorrow's Friday, are you gonna be able to talk to me tomorrow?
I'll be here.
Okay, then we'll talk tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So that we can.
And the sooner the
so-
better.
Exactly, so that we can decide and
Okay.
start, you know,
Just run me up from the office, I'm here in the morning.
You'll be in the morning,
I'll be in
okay.
the morning.
sharpen the saw.
Okay. And just to be clear, so people in the public understand the way it's always been done, and I think it's the right way to do it, they would always give us the names, positions, and everything else to the commissioners and to the people when they're here at the meeting. But when we post it online, we wouldn't put the page that has everybody's name on it. I don't know if it's like a security thing or whatever, but we wouldn't have all the employees' names and stuff on there. They would have it would be the general budget. But we always had it because of budget issues to do our math. We always had that. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing that I wanted to add was there's in the clerk's office, there's a miscellaneous memberships, and there's one that we use every year and it's not added on there. It's $750.
The, Commissioners, just briefly, the mayor is in a meeting downstairs. It occurred at the very last minute. He hopes to join us momentarily. But the document that you received earlier today reflects a series of amendments and budget cuts. As you're aware, there was a reduction in the waste fee and a $500,000 reduction in the ad valorem, or in the millage rate. The waste fee cost the city approximately cost the budget approximately $150,000 a year. The $500,000 reduction was another approximately $750,000, which means approximately $900,000 has been taken off the budget. We have reworked a considerable number of items on the budget in order to take $900,000 off, and that is one of the items that was removed. Some of them were larger items, some of them were smaller items, but together they sum up what is necessary. In the opinion of the administration, this budget is pretty much it. Nothing further can really be reduced without affecting personnel significantly, without causing even more layoffs, reducing city services, and affecting the ability of city government to function. Just yesterday, as a result of the $900,000 budget cuts that we needed to do, there were 3 more layoffs that were enacted yesterday. We hope not to have any more layoffs or it will be necessary, but that's just the reality of it. We have to make it fit, and that item that you mentioned, although it may seem small, in the greater scheme of things, along with the salaries of the 3 individuals that were laid off, and along with all the other items that were done, was necessary to shave $900,000 off the budget.
Right. Well, first of all, the only problem that I have with that comment is that the $900,000 on this budget has nothing to do with this year's budget and 3 people being
No,
let
but
go.
it goes into, the $900,000 goes into the budget that's coming up for 16-17. And, the individuals themselves have to be laid off in order to meet that budget. Remember that they have I don't know the particulars of each individual one of them, but they should have sick bank, they should have time accrued, vacation time, and so forth. So whatever layoff you have today lingers for several weeks until the person's finally paid out. So that's why it's crucial to do the layoff as quickly as possible, even if you're laid off for 16-17, it's necessary to do the layoff in 15-16 or at the end of 15-16 so that the individual's benefits are exhausted by the time October 1st comes along.
I have question.
Okay, so first of all, Chief, I just have one question. The one where it says here law enforcement motor units that the mayor cut, that's the lease?
He cut a portion of leases. We minimized it down to 5 bikes on the leasing program, which is what basically would be necessary to have an effective motor unit. Here's the issue that I just want to bring up, and I'm glad you brought it up, Commissioner. All of these individuals, had they not been on motorcycle, we'd have to provide them with a vehicle. The vehicle costs associated with that officer would increase by removing the motorcycle. So we can mitigate it down to 5, still have an effective motor unit. Roughly every month, from what I saw on the monthly reports, between UTCs and summonses, there's about $8,000 that comes in. I'm not saying that's a lot of money. It's basically insignificant in the big picture of everything, but it does represent a lot. The motor unit has historically been the face of police departments. I'm not a motorman, but I can tell you that when I was a kid, going to the Orange Bowl, one of the most impressive things that I ever saw was a motor unit walk into the Orange Bowl. They command the presence, and I want to say that the city of Sweetwater probably has the best motor unit in Dade County, or one of the best. And I'm not just saying that because I'm here. I've known a lot of these guys from before, but I can tell you that when you see them out there, they're professionals. They do their jobs, and they really perform a big duty. They do all our accidents, pretty much. If you have problems with traffic, they can get in and out of traffic where a car can't. There's just a number of reasons why they're essential for this city. I agree that there may have been too many motors at one time, and I do agree with it that we need to cut some. But I think that if we meet somewhere at 5 motors, we'd be okay, and we'd be able to provide the services.
One of the things is that the mayor had brought it up last year, but he never did it. Where through federal forfeiture funds, he was making a program to get 8 cars a year, and that never materialized.
Here's what happened with that. If I call your attention back to where the federal government froze the equitable sharing. Well, they unfroze it, but they still haven't released any of the monies. Right now, we have probably 6 or 7 DAGs pending in the system that they're just sitting there in the computer. The monies are coming in, but they haven't been released. It's at their leisure. They have lifted the freeze on the program, but they haven't released the monies yet.
That was nationwide.
Yeah, it was nationwide. So my understanding is the mayor does not want to pull the trigger on something like that unless we're assured that we're going to get all those monies ongoing. Because remember, the lease is a commitment for X number of years. You can buy equipment outright right now, and that's not an issue from there, as long as you don't have to rely on the recurring debt until we're sure that those monies are released.
Because if we can get the forfeiture funds and buy the cars and save ourselves $40,000 in lease.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you.
Commissioner, you want to say?
Yes. Being honest, the reason why I want to meet with you is about the motorcycle, because
Sure.
it's a lot of money. I don't agree to have 5 motorcycles. 5 motorcycle unit, I think is still a lot of money. And something that you mentioned, the obligation that we have with the PBA is full-timers, not part-timers, to
That
take
is
vehicles
correct.
at home.
That's correct, full-time.
So we need, we're talking about budget, we're not talking about, being against anybody.
Yes, ma'am.
That's one of the reasons, because I do have a motion ready to go about the motorcycles, but before I make my final decision, that's the reason I want to be fair and talk to you about it first.
Sure, and maybe sitting down we can come up with alternatives.
Exactly. That's why I
we'll-
said to you.
we'll come up with
you,
alternatives.
but he just brought it up and just.
No
want
problem.
to,
We'll meet tomorrow and we'll
Sure.
sit down and bounce some ideas around.
No
Not a problem.
I have question to finance director.
Go ahead, Mr. Dawson.
Please, finance director, please. I say to you, please. How much money? Mayor, Mr. Ventura, administration, how much money? You have in here. How much money for everything? Mayor, Ventura, sorry, es cuestión to Director Finance, que es el director, que es el que tiene que saber las cosas aquí. Perdón, yo le pregunté una cosa ahorita a usted, y con mucho respeto usted me dijo a mí, lo ordena el alcalde. Ahora no está el alcalde, pero ustedes lo tienen escrito. ¿Cuánto? 150,000, 200,000 pesos. ¿Cuánto es la administración total? En viaje y todo, compréndalo.
You have
Aquí no
this
está.
information,
Sí.
I believe
it
that's
was
in the budget.
provided to you, but I'll be happy to give it to you again. Are you talking about?
It's getting harder. It's working, it's getting harder.
No, está roto.
Yeah. Commissioner Birmingham,
Hace tiempo.
Chief, está
Commissioner
roto.
Birmingham, while he looks for that, we are going to need a motion to amend as provided.
Director, fine, forget it.
I'll get there in a minute.
And then we come everything, forget it.
Okay.
Big problem for you, forget it.
No, you already have this information, but I have it right here,
Forget it.
if you want it.
Por favor.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'll do is, it's only $750, but I do want to add it to it because it's for one of the programs. But we can do it for the next meeting, so that way we don't have to juggle
Yeah.
around numbers.
There's still more meetings.
Right. Okay, does anybody have any questions or anything you want to talk about with the budget or add or take off or ask questions about before next meeting?
Through the chair, I had a meeting yesterday with the mayor, the chief of, the chief was on the phone for a while, and Mr. Ventura. And one of the things that I think that we can make some improvement on shrinking the budget is on those vehicles that are not in use any longer, that was mostly used for demonstrations of the SWAT team that we don't have any longer. They occupy space over there. They have insurance that have to be paid for. So I think that those should be taken care of, Chief, and bring us the savings that we might provide by eliminating those vehicles. There are a lot of probably disabled vehicles from the police department, and all those RVs and the little
Yeah,
I don't know, mopeds, whatever you want to call it.
You're absolutely right. One of the things that we began about 7 or 8 months ago was eliminating dead vehicles and dead equipment. I'll give you an example. We had, as you know, we had 2 helicopter tails with flight, whatever they're called, the flight numbers or the air numbers. They were billing us as if they were active helicopters, because if you ran them in FAA, they showed us active helicopters, and what it really was just a shell of the tail.
Just for parts.
Just for parts, but they were billing us as if it was. So we eliminated that, returned it to LISO. We've eliminated a lot of, we had 2, as an example, we had 2 decontamination tents that were the size of this room. We eliminated that. The vehicles that were deadline, we've been slowly but surely putting them out on Bedera and selling them. We have another Bedera sale coming up now, where we're also selling a couple of trailers and a series of things that have come up that are of no use to us. So, and whatever is sold, that money goes to the general fund. I want to say last time we generated about $17,000 roughly. Don't hold me to the number, I have to check back on my log, but whatever I can sell, we're going to sell to make money. So we're getting rid of everything we can, and we're making sure that it comes off the liability portion of the policy as well.
Excuse me, Madam Clerk, you remember we spoke with Ralph last meeting about a request that I did with all those, how many motor units do we
Yes,
have,
yes.
the insurance, the cost,
Yes.
the bicycles, the horses are not
The horses-
incurring any expenditures anymore, the bike patrol, where are all those bikes? If they are not being used, let's sell them, because I think that they have to have an insurance as well.
I had the bikes inventory. The bikes are at the mall right now. I had them inventory because our goal was to slowly but surely, if personnel picked up and we had more bodies, to start different beats using the bikes.
I think it's imperative.
Yeah, so I really would not want to get rid of the bikes,
That hurt them all a
Commissioner.
lot.
Yeah, I really wouldn't want to
Yes.
get rid of the bikes. I would like to eventually establish a beat patrol that basically roams around the city.
That's phenomenal, but if we use it, okay, we keep it, but if not,
Yeah, no, my
why
goal
to
is
have
to,
it there,
my goal is to use
getting
those.
rust?
All the other equipment that's of non-use and not essential, this is a situation where it's needs versus wants. If I don't need it, I don't want it. So believe me, I'm being fiscally responsible when I tell you I'm trying to eliminate as much as
And
possible.
in relation to the helicopters, I think that those helicopters could be extremely useful to the city. But if we don't have a way to have a contract or to share some expenditure with any other entity from the government, for how long we're gonna keep them.
As far as that's concerned,
I
Commissioner-
love the helicopters. I think that in a specific moment, a storm, a hurricane, a natural disaster, they could be very, very instrumental. But if not,
Well, let me just tell you this. I have been looking in every single box and hole and nook and cranny for other agencies to participate. Nobody wants to take on the responsibility of putting money into the kitty. I've been trying up until recently. As a matter of fact, I have a meeting next week with Ruben Mena again to try to brainstorm some more ideas. I have not been able to find an agency to help me fund the operation. I can tell you that Albert Soldero has been very gracious with us. We don't pay rent. He has offered to pay some of the fuel. And the maintenance and so forth and the upkeep has really been done at a minimal cost because we've been fortunate enough to have private partners that have contributed. However, as far as staffing and full-time, I can't. If the will of the commission and the will of the administration is to keep one or both, is to have it on an on-call basis. But even an on-call basis, you got to remember that you're not going to have that officer on every time. We have right now, in essence, one pilot that I believe can fly sworn and one civilian. So that's a challenge too. I'm not a pilot, but I mean it's a challenge.
There's about 4 or 5 guys that'll fly.
There are. I think
They ran when all the stuff happened at the police department and everything. That's when
they ran.
Yeah. But people are willing to work with us because some people have reached out to us, but they don't want to work if the city doesn't come out and propose it to them. Because they don't want to be stuck in all the political stuff that was going on here before.
Yeah, I am open to talking to anybody, Commissioner. If you want to get together with me and
Okay.
point me in the right direction, I mean, I'll meet with anybody.
Again, there was grants from Homeland Security that the people that were here before were not going to get it.
One of the grants that you could use for operation of that specific vehicle is the UASI grants. And unfortunately, I can tell you the UASI grants have been monopolized by fire. They're controlled by the fire department. And every year after year, I know because I dealt with this back in the city, I tried to get the police boat, the fire boat, the air unit, everything funded from UASI. And what has happened over the years is the fire department has shrunken the ability for police to get those monies. As a matter of fact, I mentioned to you that we spent $150,000 and it was I guess we got a raw deal on it, on the transmission, or 250 plus.
Right.
From 150 I managed to get from UASI, another 100 from general funds. But that's the kind of things that even took me pulling teeth to get that money. So that money's not going to be available to us. If there are other grants available, I have somebody actively looking online constantly at anything that comes up. I have not seen anything yet that we can specifically use for that. If there is and it comes up, by all means, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to look at it. And again, with the private partners or public partners for that matter, let me know. I'll meet with them. I'll meet with whoever I can.
There are, okay.
Okay, Vice Mayor, total personnel and operating expenses for administration is 4.649 million. It's on page 90 of the proposed budget that was provided to the commission.
Okay, Mr. Mendez, are you going to be providing us, as the motion that we had last week, to give us the personnel salaries, a list?
Talk to the mayor.
Okay. There's your answer.
Talk to the mayor.
excuse me,
But he's the finance guy, Ralph. He should give us an answer. I understand I'm not putting you in the middle, but it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Remember, you work for the city of Sweetwater, not just for the mayor.
to the chair.
Yes, sir.
Ricardo, can you repeat that figure again?
Sure. For total administration expenses for personnel services and operating expenses is, I believe, 4.649 million. It's-
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right,
No.
right, and we need to adjust that for some of the changes on the memo that you have.
All right.
So it's around 4.26 million,
That's almost a third.
including the adjustment.
Yeah, that
That's
figure,
almost a third of the entire budget.
yeah, that figure was based on 5.0 mils.
Right.
All right.
And again, it's on page 80 of the proposed budget.
Yes, yes.
You said 90.
Page 90, yeah.
80, 80,
Well, I have it on page 90 too.
right, 90.
Anybody else? Commissioner Suarez, any questions?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
through the chair. I know I have said this 2 or 3 times before, but I don't want it to get lost in all this maze of numbers and dollars and figures. It's gonna look like an expense at the beginning. It's a small expense, but in the long term, it's gonna be a big saving. You guys have heard this before, but if someone in the audience haven't heard it, I'm gonna repeat it. We have 12 generators to support the pumps in case of a power failure of a hurricane. They are rusting out, they are corroding in the maintenance department, they are exposed to the elements, no roof over them. The point is to make sure we have some provision in the budget to put a roof over those 12 generators. It's gonna save money, a lot of money in the long
Is
run.
there a provision for that?
I'm sorry.
Stormwater.
And,
Yeah.
and we're gonna save a lot of money in the long run, and the long run may not be that long. They are corroding, rusting.
Commissioner Suarez, also, they have the pumps, the actual pumps. Because every year we would open them up, and especially the main housing where it's fully rusted. So they need to put the pumps under there too. There was like 5 or 6 pumps, and they're a lot of money.
We're gonna meet with the public works director and look into it and get back to you right away on that.
Mr. Abolila is aware of it. I spoke with him,
Okay.
but the more people that talk to him about it, the better. And like
Yeah, no, it doesn't-
President Berguignan mentioned, pumps are also being wasted, it's a good word, because of the elements.
no, you have a point.
Okay, anybody else have anything?
I will leave it for next.
Okay, so we'll leave all the amendments, I guess, for next, it's gonna be, what day, I'm sorry?
Thursday.
Thursday, the 19th? Is it the 19th? Let me see. 6 or 20? 22nd.
The
Through the chair,
22nd,
uh,
Thursday
uh,
the 22nd.
There is any way that we can anticipate that to Wednesday instead of Thursday?
We don't have the time. The agenda would have gone out today.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and
Agenda.
All right. At what time? 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8, please.
The 22nd.
But don't we need to pass this in order to?
Yeah, we need to pass
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, we need a motion to pass this resolution now,
Oh, yes, that's right.
as amended.
As amended, as
As
provided
amended.
by the information
The
you have.
administration.
Okay, so. Okay, so I make a motion to pass the resolution as amended for the tentative budget, and I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, pass majority. And we go, what we get here? So took care of all that. Okay, so adjournment. Moved by
Second.
Commissioner Barreto, second by Commissioner Diaz, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very
Sir, what
much.
time?
5:40.
I have one question that I should have asked before.
10
but-
o'clock is fine with you? Okay, I'll be there at 10 o'clock.
Mr. President, the meeting has ended.
The meeting has ended.
Okay.
Yes.
I was
You
asking
may
a
want-
question.